Level Up Latina partners with working women and mamas alike to guide them in achieving fulfilling career and life goals through financial empowerment, professional or leadership coaching, and personal wellness. Find the unique coaching you need to succeed.
You're listening to Vero, Ceci, and Irene, and we are Level Up Latina.
Welcome back to another episode of the Level Up Latina podcast. This is episode 231. 231. Blue 231. I feel like we're playing football now. I love me some football. But anyway, today we're talking about maybe the way to introduce or have fun at your next Christmas party or Christmas gathering, what kind of questions to ask, and how to just, break the ice. Cause sometimes, the tias or the moms and the dads are just kind of like sitting there and no platican, or everyone's like just things they have to talk about one little thing in particular. So we'll start off with maybe some ideas on what to talk about and how to break the ice at your Christmas little gathering, whether you're homegirls or your family. So before we do that, let's check in con mis homegirls, Cecilia y Irene. ¿Cómo se encuentran ahora?
Good, busy. It's a busy day. It's a busy morning. We're recording. It's a busy LUL day. We had a mastermind this morning. We're recording 3 episodes ahorita, and it's going to be our last recording day of the year. I'm going to miss you guys the rest of December, but I mean, obviously we still talk, but like just seeing your faces. Just multitasking, finishing up my work week. Pero bien, aquí contentas de verlas.
We are ready to talk about how to break the holiday ice. How to break the holiday ice. And I don't mean like chicken well on the bed.
Yeah.
La familia, cuando están juntos, all that big, beautiful stuff. So thank you. Let's break the ice right now. Let's go, Vero.
Let's go. All right. So quick question. It's going to be like, this is not a random episode. This is more like Christmas based. So maybe you can start by asking questions that are not like, what do you think about the situation here with this political thing? So sometimes we just want to kind of keep it nice, chill, and just break the ice. Remember, breaking the ice to transition into different conversations, into the deeper stuff that people are willing to talk about. So maybe we can start off with like, hey, do you have a favorite Christmas song? Like, what song que te gusta? In my case, me encanta ese el burrito sabanero, pero tal vez a ti no te guste eso. What do you like? Hi, Irene, what do you like? What's your favorite Christmas song?
Santa Baby. Something, something. It has Ariana Grande in it. I'm such a pop person because of my teenage daughter, but right now
you are. You always know the newest songs. I was like, I didn't know that.
But it's like TikTok people. Like everybody's like, it's not 40 something years old, but I have a teenager, so it's like Santa Baby, something this year. I don't know the words. I don't know the title. I don't know, but my daughter and I always bump that first before the Mariah Carey song that this family.
Auto does Mariah Carey.
Santa Baby. It's like
Auto does Mariah Carey just like the first day of November.
I know everybody loves it, but it's Santa Baby, I think, by Ariana Grande. It's a stupid poppy song, but I like it.
A ver, Ceci, tú.
I like Mariah Carey. I have my playlist, and it starts off with Burrito Sabanero.
Ándale.
I started playing it, I think, last week or whatever, but I definitely played it on Saturday. Saturday was the day that I put up the Christmas tree. And so I started playing and I yelled. Have you guys seen those memes of Mariah Carey donde dice, it's time?
Yes,
like that?
yes.
And she's like,
yeah.
jalándose. So I started playing the music. So the music, if it pops up randomly during the regular year, I'm like, no es hora. And Mom was like, the girls are like, oh my God, de la Mariah Carey. I'm like, no es tiempo todavía. So anyway, hasta noviembre I allowed to play. So Mariah Carey, Burrito Sabanero. There's other ones on my playlist that I can't think of. Oh, ya me acordé. There's una de Angélica María. Ay, ¿cómo va? La de algo de en mi trineo salgo a pasear buscando that one. I like that one too.
Yo me voy a poner bien época de tu papá en esta, okay, Ceci? Because, yes, I like Burrito Sabanero, but that's not my favorite. For some reason, anytime Christmas starts, you guys, I sing, Llega Navidad y yo sin ti. You know? Esta soledad.
I know, I love that. It's on my playlist.
I love that song. And it's like the saddest Christmas song ever because you're just thinking of someone from your past.
I know.
You know? And it's like, me veo todo like, why are you singing that? And I'm like, why are you singing Mariah Carey in her high notes? Like, chill. So I just really like it. It just comes to my mind and I start singing that siempre. So that's my jam. That is my jam. So we have Santa Baby. We have acá mi, La Mariah con Angelica Maria. Then we have my Romanticón Lonely song. So when it comes about Christmas, what else can you ask your family? You can say like, hey, when you were growing up, did you believe in Santa, or what did you think was happening? How did these trees come? Did you guys believe in Santa growing up? And that's my kid saying, yes.
We didn't do Santa at my home. My parents didn't, I don't think they did Santa. We did Los Reyes Magos. So we had, I just don't remember it being a thing about Santa. It's just, my parents gave us Christmas gifts that we unwrapped, and that was gifts from them, and it was clothes or whatever. And then the toys came hasta enero, Dia de Reyes. And I believed in Los Reyes Magos. I remember I believed in Los Reyes Magos. For me, I always thought the night before I couldn't go to sleep, but then I felt like I heard campanitas, and I'm like, oh my God, son Los Reyes Magos. That was my thing, and en la mañana, oh, llegaron los Reyes, so. But now now as a mom, I do both. I do Reyes Magos and I do Santa. So, because, estamos aquí and the girls are learning Santa, so.
Yeah. Irene?
I'm still hung up on Christmas music. I was trying to remember this song que me encanta, where the reindeer is called Panchito or Paquito. I'm sitting here frantically trying to Google it because I wanted to share it on the show. But anyway, it'll come to me. Santa. I believed in Santa. My family did an incredible job. Because I was the youngest of 6 and my older siblings were so much older, we had these weird mosh poshes of American traditions and Mexican traditions. So we did believe in Los Reyes Magos, but we didn't go all out. For whatever reason, it was Santa, Santa, Santa. So I totally believed. I was even a little bit scared because I believed so much, because one year they had a bell and they were the reindeer are flying away. You thought miedosa, what the fuck? I don't want to see this reindeer. I want to see this fat man. So I believed, and I wanted my kids to believe, and Diego didn't believe. So it was always how to make it work, because he wasn't super into the magic, but I was into the magic. And I remember finding out in 4th grade, and a little girl told me that she just asked for money since Santa isn't real. I was like, ask for money, girl. Wow. Santa was supposed to bring me a Barbie.
In 4th grade?
And I think I said this on the show, but one year the one year that I suspected was that my mom gave me a Barbie she gave to my niece that's 3 years younger than me. And I thought, I didn't ask for this Barbie. I thought it was so weird. But my mom, porque no quería que hubiera sentimientos. And she didn't want anybody to feel bad. Anyway, I believed in Santa. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was great. And my kids all believed in Santa. And we went all out until we didn't. And I remember telling my daughter preemptively, because I thought she was coming to the age where she needed to know. I didn't want her to be brokenhearted or made fun of. And then we all kept thinking Noah didn't really care. Noah doesn't care about Halloween. Noah's my youngest. Noah doesn't care about that. Noah doesn't care about this. So we're let's just knock it out. They're 16 months apart. Let's tell them both. Noah was actually shocked and heartbroken. It actually was what? There's no Santa? We're oh my God. The kid acted like he doesn't care. Yeah. And we told them all young, because he's probably the kid that's going to go tell everybody and break their hearts. So we swore them to secrecy. I hope people are not listening to this in front of their kids. I'm sure they were.
I know. We'll give a reminder.
I'm just kidding, kids. Everything I've said is real. Santa is coming this year.
For us, I think my parents lost touch of the tradition with the Reyes Magos, just as they saw that Santa was such a bigger deal here in the United States. So nos acoplamos a las costumbres de aquí, and I did for a good amount. I believed in Santa. I think I was about 15. It was a mi quinceañera that I said, what? I'm just kidding. No, I wasn't 15. No, I wasn't 15. I was pretty much an older kid when I was I guess not, because I believe I caught my parents wrapping gifts, and the gifts were in the closet. Y yo era bien, I think I talked about this in the podcast before. I used to dig through all their shit, just dig through stuff and find things. And me encantaba. I would just explore the house. If I couldn't get out of the house, I would explore our house, and I would go under the mattress and go, oh, what do they have hidden here? So me encontré los regalos que estaban envolviendo. So dije, no, it's my parents, they're the Santa. So from there, but I'm teaching my kids to believe a little bit in Santa. They do believe. But then recently I've been having this little change of heart where I'm maybe I should tell them that it's mom and dad, because I read this article, last year that this kid was came back to school and everyone's Santa brought me this and Santa brought me that. And the kid's sad, was really heartbroken because, all these kids got iPads and they got these really expensive gifts. And this kid got socks and pajamas. And then he's why did Santa bring me this and bring you guys that? And the kid was just devastated. Santa doesn't like me. Santa doesn't care. No. So it was something like that. And I'm dang, if my kids go back to school and say Santa got this and Santa, then I'm it could be someone that maybe is less fortunate, right? That is their parents aren't able to afford expensive gifts. Maybe we shouldn't. So I'm when it's expensive gifts or things like that, it's from us. And then the little things like the toys or the clothing, Santa brought it to them. Así. But I still wanted to believe in magic. Gali and Joaquin asked me the other day, like, Mommy, does Santa exist? And I was at that point of saying, like, if you're asking me. ¿Existe Santa Claus? And I mean, I'm like, sí. Yes. And I'm having them watch the Christmas movies and all that. And they're like, pero si Santa Claus se mete por la chimenea, también se mete el Grinch. Cause last year I told you guys about the big Grinch scare at the house, right? I definitely shared that on the podcast. And they're like, we never want to see the Grinch again. So they're asking, is the Grinch going to come in again? And I'm like, no, the Grinch knows that he's not allowed here anymore. Like, va a venir.
Wait, I don't know the story about the Grinch. I don't remember.
Girl, our kids got like, my niece, okay, so quick story before we go back to this. So last year for Christmas, I hosted Christmas at the house. We're all getting together. My niece thought it was going to be a good idea because the kids love watching the Grinch movie and they had just started watching it last year, to buy a Grinch outfit and have my brother put it on. And then, yes. So, however, she didn't mention it to me. She didn't mention it to my, to know anyone in the house. So no one knew. It was going to be like a surprise or something like that.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, or she didn't, I guess didn't have time to like let us know, hey, I got this Grinch outfit. It would be cool for the kids. Are you guys cool with it? Nada. So it just pretty much like, when she shared it with my brother, she was like, hey, Theo, look, I have this Grinch outfit. And my brother was like, let me put it on now. So that's according to the story that he was like just so excited. He's like, let me do it now. He comes out of the room and starts like stealing the gifts and like jumping around everywhere. And my kids are scared AF. Okay. Joaquin is hiding in a corner. Gali's crying. Archie's like, I don't know what the hell is happening. It was like a cool idea if we would have been prepared for it. You have to prepare kids for this, and in their mind, if this is some real shit and they think the Grinch is still kind of cool but scary.
The Grinch is an asshole.
Yeah. So I'm like, at least we would have prepared them like, hey, this jerk is going to be coming down from his mountain trying to steal trying to steal Christmas from us. So we're going to have to like do something, right? Nada. My kids to this day are traumados. Like Joaquin would be like, Mommy, no va a venir el Grinch, ¿verdad? Really sucky. But anyway, what is the best Christmas gift you've ever received?
I have one because I just went back to my childhood. I got a Barbie that I wanted. Like I was like the big one, like, and I think, now I don't remember if like it was Santa, it was Los Reyes, or it was my parents. But I remember like unwrapping it. Like Los Reyes always, I guess it was my parents. Los Reyes always left, los toys, unwrapped. So just laying there. And I remember it was a Barbie that I wanted and it was like the big deal that year or whatever. And it was like Superstar Barbie. It was pink and it had this fabulous dress and like the earrings and it was a pink dress. I remember. And, I just remember opening it. I was like, oh my God, I got it. Da, 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 da. And my cousins got like Nintendos or whatever, but yo quería mi Barbie. And I always remember to this day. And I had it for a long time. And then my sister destroyed all my Barbies. So
your story, Sissy, like I thought, we're thinking like childhood, like what are gifts that we got in our childhood? And then I got like emotional thinking about it. So you were telling your story and like zoned out thinking about like the best gift I ever got. Then I zoned out thinking about the worst gifts I ever got and like how loaded that was. I'm like, oh my God, these icebreakers might be dangerous. That's why I just said that.
I forgot these were icebreakers.
These are technically icebreakers, and people might share emotions and stuff. Like, I was thinking about the best Christmas gift I ever got, and it made me feel like really proud of my siblings and my mom for trying. I might cry even thinking about it, and I haven't thought about this for a long time. But they got me a little plastic dollhouse, the kind where you could like go inside of it like Fisher Price and play in your kitchen and play in your, like you had a phone, right, connected to the wall or whatever. And now that I think about it, they probably couldn't afford that. They were gardeners. They probably found it, cleaned it up, or maybe they did buy it. But for whatever reason, I feel like it wasn't in a box. I feel like it was just there, ready to go, ready to play with. And it didn't look used. But I remember that they did such a good job of surprising me that they dropped it. So I could hear it fall. Like right before I could open the door. Cause we would always do my family would be so crazy that they would ring the doorbell or something or knock on the door at 12. And that's when Santa came. We always expected him like right at 12. It was quite magical now that I think about it, but they dropped it. They opened the door. I used to have this playhouse, like for a kid like me and like growing up like that, to get a playhouse was huge. And I remember I had these memories of playing with it in the garage, solita, like playing with my little playhouse and I could fit in it or whatever. And that's kind of cool that my family did that and that they worked so hard and they did that. It makes me really emotional because I think about like my siblings did that. Like maybe not my parents, but my siblings did that for me. Damn, Beto, that's a nice question. Maybe it won't go over well with my family. But it also made me think of a sad thing because I was thinking like my brain went to like, what are the best gifts I've ever gotten? And I was like, Diego's giving me an iWatch. Diego's giving me this. Diego's giving me that. Like, Diego always buys very expensive gifts. But I remember in our broke years, so I'm going to share this because it might help somebody get through the broke years. I remember when Diego and I were so broke, like we couldn't afford to give anybody gifts. I may have told the story already, but like all I had was like a Best Buy credit card. So everybody got like Best Buy gifts. Isaiah was probably like 2 or 3 years old. But Diego tries to give me a gift, and he gives me this letter that says that one day he's going to take me to an Adele concert. And I remember being so pissed at him. Because like, why would you do that? Like, you can't afford to take me to an Adele concert. Like, why would you give me an IOU? Like, I remember being so mad and getting in such a big fight with him about how like sad that was. Like, mejor no me des nada, right? Again, emotional. But I want to tell him right now, because Diego would be the kind of person that would like go buy like 6 Adele tickets right now because he can, right? Like, how life has come a long way. But Vero, the best and worst gift. Ya te lo conté todo. Thank you for this terrible icebreaker. No,
I love it. I love that you cried.
I'm gonna go find
No, I don't want you to feel that way.
No, it's a good feeling.
But I think that's the point, right?
The
Like,
spectrum is beautiful. The spectrum is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think what's beautiful is that many times with our families, like we won't share certain things, right? We're just like, oh, sometimes we don't share certain things. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't want to share this because of, you know, que van a pensar, super emo, or they're going to think I'm just like this. So just this fear of being, you know, just judged by our family. But I think that these questions are really like, hey, you know, it really meant a lot to me that you did this. Before I talk about like maybe the best gift I ever received, I've been watching a lot of these, like back at home, like kids coming back home for the holidays. And seeing that when was the last time you were all together, like your siblings, right? Under one roof, waking up with one another, like waking up and having breakfast together and waking up and just doing what you would do under your parents' roof back then, right? So we take these days when we're young, we take it so much for granted, right? It's like, I can't wait to grow up and just move out of this house. I think in Irene's case, like your siblings were so much older, right? They were so much older and you were the young one, but it's like you were the little baby sister. And I think that for me, for example, like how cool I'm going to cry because I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool to go back to those days of waking up with my brother and my sister in the house and just enjoying it with my parents. So I think best Christmas gift.
We're all crying now. We
were pretty darn poor.
This episode is more than icebreakers.
Yeah.
Let's change the title. Breaking your hard heart. Go ahead, Vero. Says, like it says, I love it so much.
I was like, no, we were pretty darn poor. But my parents did their best. And, like, Ceci was saying, like, Superstar Barbie. I was like, damn, that's cool. You know, like, I got the swap meet Barbies.
No, but no, like, pues solo
got the
ellos
swap meet
supieron cómo lo
Barbies.
hicieron, you know? It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, yo no me acuerdo, like, of a particular gift. I remember getting some really cool, like, roller skating shoes when, like, the Ninja Turtles came out. I remember my parents got me a bike because I was very outdoorsy, right? So I was very outdoorsy. I remember getting the bike and the bike was like, my brother picked it out and they were like, oh my God. And Gabby's like, make sure it's pink and like a baby blue. It has to have blue in there because Vero is totally a girl. But I remember getting my first little BMX bike. And that was like I think the last gift I remember like being really excited about because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to pop a wheelie. I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to just, you know, go like not hold on to the handlebars. Like, I was that kid. I think that was like one of my favorite gifts. And then my other gift that they gave me were like these roller skates, the Ninja Turtles. And they were the boot of the roller skates were the Ninja Turtle shell, kind of like green and like different browning. It was like cool. And it had purple cintas and the image I had, Donatello, the purple one. It had the picture of Donatello's face on the side of my skates and the wheels were purple. So they were like, the coolest skates because everyone's like, oh, if you're going to roller skate, you should have the white boot and the pink wheels. And I was like, no, I want different skates. And they got me these Ninja Turtle skates and they were the best. And I wore them forever. Hasta que ya no me quedaban. And they were my favorite. And right after that, it's when rollerblades came out. And, we had to find those on the street. You know, someone left them and we picked them up, whatever. But anyway, I think those are the two things. But, my next question is, if you can finish this off, I don't start feeling the Christmas spirit until, and you can fill out the blank.
For when I start listening to the music, like the songs, just going back to the songs and I start seeing it. I guess right after Thanksgiving, like Like I just start feeling it. And this week was, I mean, this year I actually felt it a few days before because I was off that week and we went ice skating and I just started feeling it then because I when I start seeing it and doing the things, like that's when I feel it. But usually it's around like Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving night or the day after just because it's like, oh, let's put up the Christmas tree. So right at the end of November, más o menos.
Girl, mine is like such a commercialistic answer. Like, I don't feel the holiday spirit until that red cup drops at Starbucks. I'm terrible. I know. But if the pumpkin spice lattes in the red cup, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's Halloween, Jesus. Like, it's the Starbucks. It's the going there. It's the ritual. It's the holiday pastries there. Like, it's so dumb, but it's like such a big part of my life. Like, the red cup, the pumpkin spice, now all the holiday drinks. Like, I really should have gotten stock in Starbucks at some point in my life, but so that's so weird, right? But I think because they do the holidays really well because they're selling to you, I fall out for it. I fall for it. This is the holiday spirit. Buy, sell. Terrible.
Yeah. For me, I think right after Thanksgiving and then right when we get our tree and it starts smelling up the house, like we always get that fresh tree. And that's one thing that I really love. Like my dad was always into getting us that fresh chopped Christmas tree. It was funny because when he was growing up, they always had a fake tree. You know, they're like, we would help my mom set it up and we would do all this stuff, but his memory has always been like a fake tree. Artificial. I don't want to call it fake. An artificial tree. And then for us, it's always been the opposite. So with our first, like living together, like our first year, our first Christmas, he was like, oh, well, I have a Christmas tree that I've had for some time and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, my dad gets us a Christmas tree every year. And that's like his Christmas tradition. He would buy us, our Christmas tree, like, he would buy one for me, buy one for Gabby, and buy one for Horacio. So when Horacio was here in town visiting for like all of us, he would buy us our Christmas tree.
That's so sweet, little.
I know, it's like the cutest thing.
This episode is just so nice.
My dad is like a sweetheart, and then so he would like Horacio would be like, Dad, I can't. And my dad would be like, no, we're gonna wrap it up to the top of your car, and you're gonna drive it to Oakland. Like you're gonna take it from here to Oakland. And he would take it to my sister's house and then he would drive to my house and like leave my tree. And if I was at work, I would just walk up and on my porch estaba mi tree esperándome, cause my dad would be like, oh, I can help you put it in after, like, or whatever you need. But my dad always got us our tree. So my dad delivered us our tree. He's like, what is this? Otto was like, what is this? I'm like, that's our Christmas tree. My dad, he's like, what? He was kind of like, what in the world? And he's like, this year, it's so funny. Right before Thanksgiving, he went to look for Christmas decorations with the kids because like, we're going to decorate. And my niece and my nephew, well, Claudia and Horacio's kids were in town for the break because they took a quick vacation to Cancun. So they're like, we're going to leave the kids are staying in LA. Let's all hang out. So the kids, I was like, how cool would it be that they decorate the tree together with our kids, and the kids would just have a memory of decorating this tree with their primos. And I'm like, cool, go for it. He's like, so you don't feel bad? Cause he was at Home Depot and I was home. He's like, so you're okay with me picking out the tree without you? I'm like, yeah, of course. That's totally fine. So they get home with this 7-foot big old tree right like the week of Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving. And as soon as I'm telling you, the moment I smell el arbolito, it just takes me back to like being a kid and it just starts Christmas off for me. So for me, it's having that little tree. I was like, since your dad brought that tree that first year, he's like, I'm never going back. I'm never going back. He's like, I'm a real tree dude.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's, for me, that's when the Christmas starts, when I could smell el pino del arbolito. Love it.
Qué bonito. What an emotional, melancholic episode.
I know.
think we broke our own hearts, not the ice, but qué bonito, qué bonito.
Broke our hearts open to you
In the
all and we
best way.
poured it
In the
into
best
here.
way.
Yeah, in the
Not a
best way.
sadness,
In the
not a
best
sadness.
way.
Like a beautiful appreciation and emotions, the
Yeah.
family, the life, all of it. Qué bonito.
Gracias por compartir.
No, gracias a ustedes for being willing to do this. My family's now moving closer to me, so you might hear them on the background. But everyone listening, take your time. Like sometimes the Christmas can feel very superficial, right? We show up to the tia's house or to your parents' house, and then we just sit around the tree and we eat tamales or we eat whatever meal you have. Think about the traditions that matter to you. Think about opening up, your hearts and talking about things. And sometimes the holidays is the best time because we feel more like, ¿cómo se dice? Dispuestos to share during the holidays. So give yourself that shot, give yourself, your family a shot and talk, break the ice, open your hearts open, break them open. Como dijimos ahorita. And if you would like to keep this conversation going for the rest of December, you know where to find us. We might be taking a break, but we can definitely still get your messages. You can send us an email to admin@leveluplatina.com. You can also find us on our socials. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Level Up Latina. You can also find everything Level Up Latina and Guilt Free Squad and our community and coaching and how to be on this podcast with a shout out to, your favorite brand or your personal brand or just your homegirl or anyone. By going to leveluplatina.com. You can learn everything there. We hope that you enjoy your December. It's starting to get chilly. Well, we're in Southern California. So for Ceci, it gets chilly often. For Southern Californians, we get chilly by mid-December, I would say. It starts getting kind of chillier. But enjoy your winter. Enjoy your December. Make the best of it. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Level Up Latina. Los queremos un chingo. Se me cuidan todos.
Bravo, bravo.
Besos. Feliz Navidad.